Alright, welcome to the next video. It is time to go over everybody's favorite part when we start a new semester, the syllabus. Now, you guys aren't going to have this exact one here. You guys are going to have just this sheet. So, in order to save trees and whatnot, not having to print off a ton of pages, I'm just going to give you the last page, and there is a QR code, or you can use this tiny URL right here, and then you guys can just scan it or type it in, and your parents can do the same. That way that you guys can find it. Alright, so first thing I want you guys to notice is going to be my schedule. So, again, just listen, just follow along, and I'm going to highlight the important information for you guys. Now, big thing is I have planned first block, and that's going to be the best time for you guys to try to get some help or get a hold of me. Hopefully it works in your schedule. If not, before in the morning also works. And like I said, I do coach track, so after school is alright, or it'll be really good up until March. Once track starts, after school won't work. So again, first block or in the morning works the best for me. Now, we already talked about this a little bit in that other video that you watched, but the materials you're going to want, again, is going to be a folder. Again, please try to get a folder. We're going to have a lot of notes, and it's going to be nice to keep everything organized. Again, pencils, pens, highlighters, those are always great. I do like to do my problems in different colors to signify different steps. So again, it does help out if you guys have those. And again, you can borrow a calculator during class, but if I have too many of them get stolen, then they're just going to be no calculators, and you're going to have to use your Chromebooks or have to go get a calculator yourself. So again, please return the calculators. Now, classroom rules. Be proactive, be prepared, be polite, be productive, be present. It's always satisfying when they all start with the same letter. So, be proactive. This is big, especially because I have had some kids that are missing a lot, or if you skip, this is what you're going to want to do. Check the slideshow. Even if you're in here and you're still confused, it always helps go in here because this is where I put the answer key. And again, you will see what the slideshow looks like when I return and you show up that very first day. Be prepared. Have your stuff. Again, we will have notes. We will have a lot of materials. Make sure you have everything. Make sure you have a pencil calculator, or if you don't, make sure to bring it out. Chromebook, make sure it's charged. Again, a lot of our warm-ups are going to be online on Delta Math, so make sure that you have that up and open and ready to start your day. Now, here's going to be my biggest one, for sure. I don't know what's happened, but some of you high schoolers are just vicious. Some of you guys need to learn how to play nice with one another. So, my big rule is going to be polite. You guys will not be yelling at each other. The only person that can yell in this classroom is going to be me. If you guys are rude or anything, again, I had some classes that were a little bit rough last semester. I now know exactly what I want to do. It was great because it showed me what I need to work on, what I need to improve. The big thing is, if you're disrupting class, if you're disrupting the lesson, if you are being rude or anything, I'm just going to take you out of the classroom. We are not going to be dealing with that. If you are ruining the learning environment for other people, that's all right. You can figure out the lesson by yourself since you think that you already know what's going on. Ugh. So, just play nice. Just follow the rules, follow the expectations, and we will be fine. All right, next one is to be productive. Again, you are expected to take notes. Once a week, I will have a note check to make sure that you are following along. Start your assignment right away. Again, use your homework during homework time. I try to give you anywhere from 15 minutes if it's a long lesson, 10 to 15 if it's a long lesson, to sometimes even like half an hour, 40 minutes if it's a super short lesson. However, if kids are not productive, if kids are just screwing around or they're just talking to their friends, then I just think that you don't need homework time. I'll just teach the whole class. Again, why would a kid want to do homework at home when they have school time? I don't know. The only thing I know is if you're doing it at home, it's probably because you want to cheat on photo math or something. I'm not dumb. I know about 80% of the kids that say I want to do it at home are just using it on photo math. Again, is that teaching you anything? No, not really. Again, I will know if you're photo mathing because you show no work, because kids are so lazy they just write down answers, and you're going to do bad on your test. But that's the path you choose. All right, And the last thing is to be present. Phone in the caddy. No headphones can be worn unless permission is specifically given. Again, remember, this is only when I am teaching. Again, during homework time, you can have them. But if it becomes an issue because one person thinks that they want to jam out constantly when I'm teaching or during the start of class, then they are going to be the one that ruin it for everybody. Again, I love group punishments because, like I said in my other video, that's how it works in the real world. A couple people ruin it for everyone. So again, no headphones unless you really want to be the guy to ruin it for everyone. Alright, what do I do if I miss? So again, if you're missing school regularly, maybe you have a weak immune system, or maybe you're just having a rough patch and just got hit by multiple illnesses or something, or you got school events, doesn't matter. But if you are missing, please check on Canvas. Again, this goes back to being proactive. Copy down the notes. I try to put the answer keys up there, or at least I put the notes on what we covered, what I wrote down. And then if there is a video, you should definitely watch that video. Okay, again, if you know in advance, please let me know. Usually I try to print off my stuff one day ahead so I can try to give you that next assignment beforehand so you can have it and work on it. Oops. Quiz and test. If you're going to miss out on assessment day, then we need to determine, again, you will take the test when you return. Now, if you're somebody who's really bad at taking tests, I'll probably just have you take it during the lesson because there's some kids that they won't even care that they have a missing test, and it's not going to be till like the last 2 weeks that they got to take a test all the way from chapter 1, and then at that point you waited too long. It's going to be impossible for you to remember everything that happened. So again, just try to get it taken care of. Again, ideally, if you know you're going to be gone ahead of time, it'd be nice if you took it either the day before or the day after, especially if you have a win or a learning strategies or anything, just let me know. Now, if you are going to be gone multiple days, remember you do have time to make it up to 7 days like it says here. Again, just communicate with me. That's the big thing. Now, unexcused absences. If you are skipping, a lot of kids are skipping, my goodness. But if you are skipping, just remember, it is the discretion of me. So theoretically, truly, really, if I really wanted to, and you skip a day where you're going to take a test because you don't feel ready, then if you skip it and it's unexcused, I could give you a 0 for that. Now, am I going to be evil and do that? No. But if it becomes a really bad habit, there will be consequences. There's a chance I might not accept some of your missing work if you are just skipping constantly and it is unexcused. So, again, try your best to be present. Again, especially with math class, it's kind of hard to do well if you are gone because, again, math builds upon itself. What to do if I have a missing in synergy? Again, this goes hand in hand with that. Again, if you're gone, just reach out to me. Communicate. We will find a time for you to make up this quiz and test. If you have missing online homework, especially your Delta Maths, or if I do an occasional like Delta Math assignment, make sure that you email me because once I enter the grades, and this is later on, okay, this is late work, this is makeup work, I am not going to go back and check. I put in the grades, I did it when I was supposed to. Just because you didn't do it, I'm not going to check. So you have to let me know. If you did a Delta Math assignment from a month ago, I'm not checking assignments from a month ago. So you got to email me when you're doing something like that. And then if it is a missing worksheet, that's a little bit easier. Just make sure to put it in the turn-in tray, the late turn-in tray. All right, big dates are going to be right here. So for the late work policy, again, if you are skipping and everything, remember everything that you missed out on, you need to make it up. Now, for us, these are going to be the important dates. These are when you guys are going to have to make sure you get everything turned in. After March 7th and May 16th, all the missings will remain as zeros. And again, I put in the zeros after 48 hours. Missing work turned in prior to the dates above will be scored no lower than a 60 unless you did not earn a 60%. Again, if you give me a half turned in worksheet and it's like a month late, you're not going to get a 60%. You'll probably get like a 30% or whatever. It's late and it's only halfway done. All right. And then again, just remember, after those dates, it is my discretion afterwards. I can choose to accept it. I can choose not to. And again, just like it said, we already talked about it. Work from students who are unexcused will be accepted at my discretion. So again, remember, it is up to me if it is unexcused. And the nice thing I love about Synergy, it tells me when an assignment is unexcused because you missed out the day I assigned it. So again, it's up to me to decide whether to give you credit or not. So let's just show up so you guys can receive your credit. What do I do if I am feeling behind or am confused? Well, you have a couple options. Option one, what a lot of people like to do, well, they should like to do. This is what I did in college. Whenever you are confused, I would always go to YouTube. YouTube and Khan Academy are going to be your best friend. The beauty about living in this century, this time, or this day and time, is that everything is online. Every lesson I will teach you will have a YouTube video already posted. Heck, there's probably 10 to 20 of every single math lesson out there. So, if you are feeling confused, just Google, just YouTube whatever the lesson is, whatever the directions say, and you will find a video very similar to it. Also, you can go online to our online textbook. There's also videos and help there. On our online homework assignments, if we have an online one, there's also need help with this question icon on the bottom of those assignments. And again, if you are more of a one-on-one person, then you can email me and let me know ahead of time. Now, if you're emailing me, let's figure out when the best time is. Well, if it's only going to be about 10 minutes, or if it's going to be more than 10 minutes, I would really like that you guys send me an email and reach out and schedule an appointment with me. That way I can prepare stuff for you. Again, if you're really lost and have no idea, this would be the best one. And again, if I'm emailing you guys, 7:45 to 6 p.m. Anytime after that, if you send me an email, I'm not responding till tomorrow. Now, if this is just going to be a really quick question, just a question on like 1 or 2 problems, again, something we can handle in 5 minutes, here are my times that you guys can do. Again, 7:30 is usually around when I show up to 7:55, and then you can head to your next class, or after school, 3:41 to like 3:55 probably. I can help you out during that time too. And again, like I said, during plan time. Oh, tardies. If you're out wandering the halls after your third tardy, I just pretty much follow the school policy. Third tardy, I'll just send a Synergy or email question home, and then you get a 15-minute detention with me. And then 6th and on, the principal calls home, and then the principal will assign a detention. What is considered being on time? Being in the classroom with your phone in the caddy, and you're in your chair sitting, and again, we will have a warm-up. So again, just have your phone in the caddy and just be in the classroom. If you got to use the bathroom, please ask, please let me know. Again, with how many people skipping everything, if you walk out, I don't know if you're coming back. Truly, I have no idea where you are headed afterwards. So, okay, I'll let 2 to 3 people use the bathroom, and then after that, you're going to have to wait. And then, again, like I said in my other video, I'm a stick in the mud. You're going to have to fill out an e-hall pass. Cell phone policy, you guys have already had a semester of it. You guys know that the cell phones will be turned into the caddy. Alright, here's some more school policies. So again, the attendance policy is just regular, consistent, on-time class attendance is vital for your success, which I strongly believe that just showing up is 80% of the battle. You'd be surprised how many people just don't show up to their jobs and they end up getting fired. Which, that's probably one of the few and easiest ways to get yourself fired in the real world. It's just not showing up and telling anybody. Absences are either excused or unexcused through the Kearney High Attendance Office. All absences, excused or not excused, count against the total for excessive absences. When a student accumulates 20 days or more worth of excessive absences, they will be referred to the county attorney office. Which, that is no fun when you get in legal trouble, because remember, it is illegal to not be in school. Oh, the tardy policy. Tardy is the failure by a student to be in the assigned classroom when the tardy bell rings. I will record tardies and synergy. Tardy students should report directly to class. And then again, remember, I do follow the 2-minute tardy bell policy very well. I'm one of the best teachers to do it, and I'm gonna keep it that way. All right, cell phones and electronic devices. Again, this is what Kearney High's rules are. The big thing is just remember, cell phones and earbuds are both in the same category. Those count as technology that will distract you. Students must place their phone, and notice I crossed it off because I don't want you guys to put your earbuds in there. I would rather they're in your bag. But again, if they become a big problem, I don't want to see them ever in my classroom. Oh, let's see what else there is. What other important stuff? Again, just use your common sense. That's going to be the really big thing. If you can just use your common sense and think about it, think to yourself, is Mr. Varela going to get annoyed if I do this? Then you probably shouldn't do it. Other than that, remember you can't take your phones to the restroom or locker rooms, which I haven't really had an issue with that, so I don't think that'll be a big deal. And you can get your phones during passing periods, lunch, and before and after school. Again, just make sure when we have 2 minutes left, that's when you guys can grab your cell phones. Some kids are trying to grab them 5, 10, freaking, I've gotten asked 20 minutes beforehand if you guys have your cell phone. No, it's 2 minutes. All right, here's the grading. Summative, formative, it's pretty much like the rest of all these classes. 60% summative, 40% formative. Summative will deal with the test, the midterms, the final, quizzes. And then formative will be homework, warm-ups, note checks, classroom, activities, and quizzes. Quizzes should be in that top section. But yeah, so again, your big things will be in that 60%, and then all your other homework and whatever random other stuff I'm grading will be in that 40%. Now, here's going to be the big thing. Retakes are permitted when you guys score under a 70. So, normally, this is a 60%. However, I think it's important to raise it up to 70. If you didn't know, 70, a C is technically, that's average. So 70%, if you get a C, that means you're average in that class. If you got a B, that means you're doing really good, you're above average. And if you got an A in the class, that means that you are doing exceptional. You are thriving in the class. And then on the other side of the spectrum, so C is average, D would be below average, and F, well, everyone knows that is failing. So, I want you guys to do well. I would love for you guys to not just raise your grade to below average. I want you guys to get a 70. Again, 70 will be the cap, but that means that you guys were performed average on that test, which is always great. Again, that is the max. Make sure, though, that you study, you do well. That way you don't even have to worry about it. But again, every test, every quiz, you guys can retake. So again, you shouldn't fail because you can retake every single test and quiz. You can get it back up to a 70. It's up to you. If you decide not to retake it, well, that's your decision. And then here's the KHS grading scale. And then other than that, so this is for Algebra 1B. These are the classes the courses we'll be talking about, and then this is Algebra 2. So, for Algebra 1B, we'll go review Algebra 1A. And then we'll talk about system of linear equations, exponents, and radicals and roots. That'll take us to midterms. For the first term of this second semester for Algebra 2, we will review linear equations, inequalities, and systems. Then we will jump into quadratics, and then polynomial and polynomial functions, then get our midterm. Then for Algebra 1B, our next term, that fourth term, we don't really have... Oh, actually, that's a little bit off. I'll have to fix that. But for the second term for Algebra 1B, what we end up talking about is not this. It's going to be, our last chapter will be quadratics. And then this will be factoring. We do a lot of factoring, a lot of greatest common factor and all that fun stuff, and then we will be dealing with quadratics, which that kind of ties into Algebra 2. Algebra 2 is a lot of quadratics. And then Algebra 2, here's going to be your second half. Polynomial equations, inverse and radical functions, exponents and log functions. And then usually we pretty much stop right here. Rational functions and inferential statistics. I've actually never really gotten to this place right here, so that one probably won't be in there. But I always keep it just in case. So we'll probably start there and maybe touch rational functions. We'll see, and then we'll have a final. So again, you guys will have a midterm and final for both Algebra 1B and Algebra 2. All right, so that is it for me. That is your syllabus. So I'm excited to get the chance to work with you guys. And again, I'm typically a relaxed teacher as long as you guys follow the expectations and you guys work hard. I really want you guys to succeed, but some of you guys just need to learn how to kick it in gear. So hopefully I can help you guys with that. All right, that's it for this one.